In case, whenever he gets here, we should all scream "Fire Dragon Roar" for him.
Yes!
I just feel like after taking a red eye, like he could use all of the energy that he could.
Gotta get them all fired up.
Yeah! Not that he needs any help. I don't know how that man probably wants to watch Mojo Top 10. He hosted an episode of like the top 10 fairy tale moments. So we may or may not watch that. I don't know. I do feel like we're team teaching, and I'm like, I don't know what he put on his agenda. I have a list of things I would like to get through, not a pop quiz. I won't do that to you. He would do that though. He's the tough teacher. I'm the like kindergarten teacher has reading circle. We all get donuts. I wish. Yeah, everybody say crisscross applesauce. Okay, so do you guys have any questions? What do you guys want to know about fairy tale? Or if you don't know anything about fairy tale, should we give you like a weird summary? Oh, that would be so hard. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Who thinks they could give a really good summary of the show? Yes, you were so confident. Come up here. Yeah. So for anybody that has not seen, try to give. Well, you know what? No, you do you. You do what you think is the best summary possible. I'm so excited. Of course.
Fairy tale takes place in a magical fantasy world, unlike any other, where wizards fight and protect the world from evil forces, and will never everything they have. And for each wizard,
Todd's here. Todd's here.
Fairy tale.
Okay. All right. Todd's here. 1, 2, 3.
Fire Dragon Roar!
To our lovely friend who is giving us a brief synopsis for those of you who did not know.
That's my favorite line from Full Metal Alchemist.
So I got you a hot banana. Happy birthday!
You know what? So I saw Cherami this morning, briefly,
Yeah.
but I really didn't have a chance to take in the body of work that is Cherami. And so I didn't notice your hair until now. That's a good haircut.
It's straight. Yeah. Normally it's curly, but I
very
got
nice.
in so late last night. It is what it is.
So we both were out of pocket yesterday.
Yeah.
So how many people in here, you came to see Cherami yesterday.
And we ruined your life and we were
She
not here.
disappointed you. And now you've devoted your life to a John Wick style of training. And you will come back for her when she least expects it.
Can't wait.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
So, we got a brief synopsis. I was signing things for the charity auction and just talking about fairy tale. We've got some people in here that were brought here because somebody that they loves fairy tale. Some people don't know anything about fairy tale. And some people, the majority, love fairy tale and have seen it.
Now they know when the new season's starting, right?
Yes.
No.
No, I don't know if we were officially allowed to talk about those things, or what we're officially allowed to know that we know, or if we even know what we're
I'm just saying when it starts doesn't say anything that CNN didn't cover. CNN said it was October 7th. October 7th is when the new season.
That's my birthday!
That's your birthday! It's fun. Sitting is fun.
I know, I see that.
Have you done that other than sitting for 6 hours to get here?
That's true.
Is it direct?
Never mind.
Did you use
It was a
United?
flight, but it was one of the flights. This is why I don't like to sit by. I don't ever like to sit by attractive people. I don't want attractive flight attendants on the flight because at some point I am going to go to sleep. And I don't want them to see me sleep. Because especially when you do the walk of shame out of the plane,
They know you.
they're right at the front, and you know that they.
So here's my trick,
Yeah.
because I was always paranoid about this, because
Coke.
no.
Oh.
when you go to a Supernova, you do 2 conventions and everybody gets to know each other very well. So when we were going to the second leg of the flight, I like fell asleep and apparently was like backwards, like doing a back bend in the seat, and everybody was making fun of me and took pictures. And I was like, I can't have this again. So now what I do is I take the tray table down and I bring a pillow and I bury my face in it like you do when you're at school and you don't want your teacher to know that you're falling asleep because you're like, oh, my head hurts.
Well, here's the problem. I like this. Thank you.
Of course,
actually.
yeah.
Thank you.
Here's
Here's the problem though with that. You weigh 17 ounces.
I wish.
So when you put your hand here, it's almost like, remember in Forrest Gump, the feather at the beginning?
Yeah.
That flows
Yeah.
up? That's you. You are that feather. You're the Forrest Gump feather. I am like Colossus in weight. And so like when I put my head alone, when it goes down on the thing, the dude on the seat, the nails come up off the end of the like that. So I can't do that.
Since when did you voice the Jew?
I only voice good characters.
Oh my God!
I didn't know if you got the memo on that, but
Oh my God.
so who has never seen any of Fairy Tale? You've not seen any Fairy Tale. Okay, so there's a couple of you. So then what brought you here to the panel? Your friends brought you. Okay. Your friends came. What was your reasoning? Hiding from the cops? What did you do? Yeah, that's fine. That's a fine reason. That's a legitimate reason.
This weekend, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, it's easy. You get lost in here for a little bit. The cops are roaming the halls. They're going to get tired. They're going to go on lunch. You escape. You go hide in another part of the building. You just do it for the rest of the weekend. You'll be fine.
Sounds like you've done before.
I cannot legally comment on
But I can.
that. So, Cherami, are you for you being known for Lucy, etc.?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get stopped by people in your life that don't necessarily, they know what you do for a living, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you have family like this. Not your mother, of course. Your mother is much more engaged in your life than mine ever was or ever will be. And so, because my mom doesn't see anything I do. My mom knows nothing about what I do. When the Fairy Tale movie came out,
Yeah.
I'm like, I had to beg my mom to go see it. Your mom's probably like, t-shirt on, ready to rock. I'm like,
No,
that's the mom I want.
My mom is the anti-stage mother, but she knows that she loves me, so she supports me for that. But like I'll be like, Mom, I have to go to this thing. She's like, okay.
I don't even get an okay from my mom.
She's like, are we going to CatCon first? Are we going to Disneyland first? Okay, then I'm on board.
See, I can't even ply my mom with conventions of animals or anything. Like I had to beg her to go. Now, listen, she's got a lot of kids to take care of. I'm an only child. But I had to beg her to go. And then when she went, I had to beg her for a review of it. And because I called her and it had been hours, and I'm like, well, Mom, what'd you think? Did you go see it? She goes, it was okay, son. It's not my cup of tea. That's what she said. She goes, but you did a good job.
That's nice.
I'm like, oh, thank you for coming down from on high to give your son a review of it. Anyway, so are there people?
What is her cup of tea though? Like, what movies or? She strikes me as somebody from what you've said about her that she'd be like, I'm going to the theater.
Yes, here's how a perfect Fairy Tale movie would go. It takes place. First of all, it's subtitled in French.
Well, I was gonna say it was like Shakespearean.
There's
but...
a lot of nudity.
Oh.
Tastefully done.
Sure, yeah.
Where you don't really hear the sound. It's
So
the music
Forrest
over the
Amelie.
stuff where the sheets are.
So she would like Amelie then.
She loves that movie.
Okay.
And it needs to have strange credits, a credit sequence, and of course she needs her textless songs, of course. But yeah, that's her perfect. Like,
I very much want to see that.
Oh, you know what? October 7th. So, are there people in your family that don't know what Fairy Tale is and who Lucy is, and they go, do some Lucy for me? Have you ever gotten that from family?
Oh yeah. Like my family, a couple of them will say, like my uncle the other day was like, do one of your characters, do one of the famous ones. I was like, well, a lot of them are just you're listening to it. It was like, so it's just you.
It's so funny. It's like, you're a doctor. Do some of your surgeries right here.
I got a croconator.
Yeah.
Open him up.
Oh, open this little effer up. Let's see what's inside him.
No, my cousin though, she was dating this guy, and he was watching anime, and she told me later she was walking around the house. She was like, "Oh, I didn't know Cherami was here." God, she's just talking and talking and talking. And but she's my younger cousin, and she's very, very quiet, so she's been used to this her whole life. And she was like, "God, Mom, when did Cherami get here?" And she was like, "Cherami's not here." And so she walks out there, she's watching TV, she's like, "Sam, what are you watching?" He's like, "Oh, I'm watching Fairy Tale." And she goes, "Oh, that's Cherami." She didn't know I was in the show, and her boyfriend was like, "Wait, you know Lucy?" She goes, "Yeah, I mean, I guess it's my cousin." And he was like, "Are you sure?"
Will you marry me?
My brother, I think it's safe to say, like, he will not date anybody who's like a super anime
Not
gaming
even super,
nerd.
not even has watched anime ever.
Yeah, my brother's like it could be like his perfect girl, and if on like the third date, he's like, "So, do you watch anime?" She's like, "I love anime." It doesn't even have to be a show that I'm in. Like one girl was like, "I love Sailor Moon." My brother's like, "You have got to go."
Is that because you're so entrenched in it?
I don't think he wants to deal with the fact that like his significant other might be like,
Trying
"Oh
to
my
get.
God, your sister is like so
Yeah.
not cool anymore for me." I think he's trying to protect my reputation of like my ego, of like that people might like me. He doesn't want them to get too close.
He doesn't want anyone to like you guys. Good brother.
Yeah. No, he wants them to continue to like me. If they get too close, they'll know too much and they'll be like, "She's a weirdo."
Oh, okay. Well, no,
He's looking out for me.
Okay, well, I mean, I've known you for a long time now. I wouldn't say you're a weirdo. I would
Yeah,
say.
I would.
I would. How would I categorize you? She's not a weirdo. Cherami is.
Adorable.
Perfect.
Yes. Oh, boys are so sweet. I don't know how.
Yeah, I'd go with adorable. Yeah.
I'm a croconana. I don't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Yeah. Open this thing up. So if you could have if Lucy could exchange powers with anyone in the fairy tale universe and outside of the fairy tale universe, what would you do?
Wait, so if Lucy could exchange.
Only within the fairy tale world, if
Okay.
you could exchange powers with someone, what powers would you want? And then outside of the fairy tale world, what powers would you want? What would be your ultimate super ability?
I'm kind of okay with my powers. Like, I really like it.
So you have no aspirations or goals, you don't want to aspire to be anything. Alright, cool.
I'm a collector, so the key thing makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I like accessorizing, so the key thing makes sense to me. I'm also surrounding myself with a bunch of friends who like are contracted to be my friends. Which, like, true story. I don't know if you've heard this story. This is sort of embarrassing for what happened my first. Not get to go home, and I thought my family was having fun without me while I was at school. So I would make myself like physically ill every day. So I had my first grade teacher, after a month of it, was like, took me out in the hall and she goes, "Cherami, look, you're gonna have to be at school for the rest of your life. For right now, at 6 years old." And she was like, "So we have got to get you excited about something. I'm gonna get you a friend." And I was like, "I don't want one." And so she goes in the classroom, she goes, "Okay, so I have a very special assignment for somebody who's gonna get a lot of extra credit. Who wants to volunteer to be Cherami's friend?" I got assigned a friend in first grade.
What I like about that is the fact that they're contracted to be your friend, so it's like you're thinking you're gonna hang out on a Saturday night and have peanut butter jelly sandwiches and beer or whatever you do at 6. And then they call and they go, "Yeah, I can't come over Saturday night. My invoice is not been paid yet. I can't come be your friend tonight. Sorry." Then you just end up drinking the whole 12-pack by yourself.
Well, but I have the keys with them, so I could pretend that they're actually there.
That's true.
You know
That's
what
true.
I mean? Like,
Horologium's getting drunk.
If they can't show that, yeah, you just sit
Yeah.
with Horologium. Plu's always gonna be there.
Yeah, Plu's barfing all over, already naked.
Just
Shaking and having the shakes. So then outside, that's right, he's detoxing. That's what he does. He's always detoxing. So if you could have
From me.
any power outside of the fairy tale world, what would be your superpower?
So that I would have
Yes, you're, and why would you want that ability?
I probably would still want to be a celestial wizard.
Still?
But no, it has to be in the
Outside of the world. Any power.
Oh, okay. I don't know. This is very difficult. I'm thinking about all of the things that like stress me out in my life.
Okay.
Like time travel, or not even like time travel, but
time
just
travel.
because I feel like you could do this for time travel. Like yesterday, I would have been able to do the session and then get here like instantaneously and not have to go through the stress of LAX and an Uber driver and like rescheduling stuff. That would be really helpful. So I think time travel would be.
That is a good one. I like that one. I would want to speak every and any language on the planet.
Of course you would.
Any dialect, any language, sign language,
You just instantaneously know.
Know it. And because, well, the reason that I would want to do that is because we've seen movies. We know what happens when you have a superpower that is discovered by other people. They want to capture you, they want to study it, they want to recreate it, they want to kill you, and they want to make an army of them.
Never made any sense to me.
Never makes sense, but you know what would happen.
I know.
Oh, he can fly and has superpowers. I want that man in my office Monday.
No!
I want his ability, I want his strength, and Melania will love me again.
So that would be my power, because you always get studied. That's why I think if Fairy Tale were in the real world, first of all, if Fairy Tale were in the real world, we would have been sued 1,000 times for all the damage.
Oh my god, I asked that. Also, like, Lucy looks great, but like, there's no way that you would be able to fight in those heels and that short skirt. Right? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I checked the complaint box and there's 0 complaints.
Zero. I know. I'm just saying it's not practical.
Maybe they're super good on the feet.
The first movie, where she's in the towel for the whole first scene.
What's right? It's a 100 thread count towel.
But like, it's just impractical.
Well, I mean, if you don't tie it properly on the top.
You can't do your best work. Like, you like beating the bad guys when you're like concerned about losing your towel.
Okay, all right, to each his own. Agree to disagree. So I think that, and also I think Natsu would be in jail because you've cried so much, and every time someone makes you cry, you have to kill them.
Also, just the fact that like you would be in jail for breaking and entering the amount of times that you have.
Oh, totally would be in jail. And
or at least maybe no, I don't think not a restraining order. If she had friends that were like, look, this is a toxic relationship.
yes, between you and the celestial spirit.
Me and Clue's like,
yeah.
He makes me nervous.
Shedding.
Shedding. He's a chihuahua.
And I don't think actually, if it were in the real world, you and I would necessarily be together, because I feel like I would get kind of fed up after a while, and I'd be like, listen, all the signs are there. I mean, I like you. Do you like me? I've saved your life 276 times.
It's like, I just can't get over the motion sickness. I really like
I can't get over the sandals.
It's the sandals and the scarf.
Yeah.
No shirt.
It's like, let's look at the closet of footwear today. Let's go sandals.
It's the look from like the early 2000s that like I never understood, but I'm sure I did it a couple of times. That girls would do the Ugg boots and the shorts, and you're like,
oh yeah.
Are your feet cold, but your legs are not? And they're wearing a sweatshirt, and you're like, if you're that cold, go get some leggings.
Yeah. I saw a guy in Uggs.
I have nothing against Uggs. I love Uggs.
Why don't I think are guys allowed to wear Uggs?
Yes.
Only in fanfics.
Well, look, I was
on
watching,
the dark web.
I was watching.
Oh dear Lord, no.
An anime the other day, and one of the characters was wearing Crocs, and he was piloting like this really intense machine. I'm trying not to give away too much.
A Crocanana?
Well, no, that would have made sense. But he's piloting this dance machine in Crocs, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna make a mistake and kill somebody because that is not appropriate footwear.
Yeah, you don't do any kind of serious business in Crocs.
No, it's dangerous. Maybe
Now-
you'll get Crocs in the new season instead of the sandals.
I cannot. We haven't inked the deal yet, but I have been in talks with Crocs to be a Guild Wizard
Yes.
sponsor.
God.
You know, we'll see what happens. Talking to Crocs, I'm talking to what other company? Neutrogena, and I'm talking to Us Weekly. So we'll see. We'll see if they come on board. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
I'm so hopeful.
So for you guys, what's your favorite power in the fairy tale universe? Raise your hands. What's your favorite power?
My favorite is actually like I guess Loki's but beforehand. Like I just liked the idea because I would bring those out.
Cool. Your favorite power is not to inspire. Awesome. What's your favorite power?
The requip ability.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the fire of Natsu.
I do like that.
What is your favorite power in the backpack? Yes, sir.
I'd probably go with Fire Shadow.
Whoa.
Oh, fire. Love it. Yes, sir. In the back, standing up. Yes, sir.
Fairy Glitter.
Fairy fire? Yes. You call on someone now.
Okay, well, it's just gonna be the same answer.
Well, we don't know. We'll see.
Okay, what's your favorite power?
The Ice Make.
Fire make. Yes. That is a good ability. It's a good ability.
I feel like nobody's gonna respond with fire.
It took a while to get to that power.
Yes, in the red shirt, yes.
I like Levy's glasses to read really fast.
That is good.
Yes, the fire glasses. That's my favorite too. I really like that. Episode 137. Yeah.
It should be like coming up next season.
Yeah.
Wait for October.
That's right. iMasters is sponsoring.
Yeah, of course. Warby Parker.
That's right. So when a question that I often get when we do interviews, we do a lot of press interviews when we come to the big conventions like this one, which we'll be doing later today, right? Do you have press today, or did you do yours? Or you do yours tomorrow? At some point you will. Do you ever get?
Later today. Thank you, Sammy.
Good call. SAMI. And so how often do you get asked? Did you ever think fairy tale would get to this place?
No, I never.
How could you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that it would be. People said it was going to be a popular show, but we've heard that before.
With Sergeant Frog.
With Sergeant Frog, and I remember when we auditioned for Sergeant Frog, there was a lot of whispering. Yeah, in the hallway, everyone's like, "Look, are you planning on moving? What's your schedule? Are you available? This is a huge show. This is hundreds and hundreds of episodes. We've got to get approval. It's going to be a big deal." And then it was over almost as soon as it started, and we loved working on it. It was such a fun show. So when they said, Fairy Tale is going to be a big show, they can have the expectation of, hey, this is popular in Japan, or we think that this has a lot of potential to be a big show, but if you guys don't like it, it's not going to be popular.
Which is what led to the tattoo challenge.
Yeah. Oh.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know anything about that.
So because D. Gray Man, big show,
Yeah.
finished, took 10 years to get the rest in.
Woo!
Sergeant Frog, D. Gray Man. Sergeant Frog, big show, effing nothing.
Okay.
And then that's when we got Fairy Tale, I challenged the fans, and some of them are probably in this room, and I said, if you guys support it and get it to 100 episodes, I'll get Natsu's tattoo. So then not only did everyone get it to 100 episodes, they started getting the tattoos. So that's where that started.
Okay.
And so and if you haven't seen the video, it's on YouTube.
Tyler got the tattoo as well.
He wasn't going to. We tried to get Cherami to do it, but the day we finished the 100th episode, we had a camera crew ready, and they came with us to a tattoo parlor, and Tyler wasn't going to get it, and then I felt so bad for him. Tyler's the director and writer and producer of the show. He knows more about Fairy Tale than probably anybody.
I would say.
And so he wasn't going to get it, So I get the tattoo, and then Tyler's like, let's do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get the tattoo. Yep. And when he does it, the Funimation crew is like, turn the cameras off. Okay, let's go. And I'm like, no. Record that. They're like, It's
No,
not
but
they didn't record.
I would think if you're like, okay, let's do it. You're gonna get like a small tattoo.
Yeah, on my tongue or whatever.
Sure, for you, yeah, on the whites of your eyes.
Yeah.
But Tyler got like a huge tattoo on his calf muscle.
Yeah.
Which I don't imagine was comfortable.
You know, because I have the only recorded media of it. He was fine. He kind of like, he's like, you know how he is.
Yeah.
He's like,
But even if it's a great take, like when we're recording, even if it's really, really good, he's like, cool, moving on. Now you know it's not a good one when you're gonna have to do it, and he goes, okay, yeah.
Or he'll go, cool.
Yeah.
And then we know we have to get another take every time. Tyler also, again, the director of the show, he does
I think this is one of the few times that we've had the same director and writer from beginning
whole
to
thing.
end.
Absolutely.
It usually gets shuffled around to directors, whoever's available, but Tyler's been
Absolutely, yeah, he's been the whole time. There's some of these yells in the show are crazy long. Some of them are 8 or 9 seconds. So sometimes, I mean, that's like, look, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8. That's how long some of those yells are.
Jeez.
So sometimes if I can't get those yells out, Tyler will do the yell at full volume on his end. As if that gives me some magic ability. I'm like, oh, that's how you yell. I know how to yell!
He's willing you the vocal strength.
So yeah, he'll be like this. He'll be like, okay, the yell needs to be a little bit longer. And already I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to get more breath. But he goes like this. Ah! The engineer's right here.
So when we record Fairy Tale Studio, I think we've always recorded in the same studio. I don't think we've
Studio A,
yeah.
yeah.
And so there's probably, I think the booth is probably like the length of this table. Like 2 of these tables all together is probably the width of the booth. So we're on one side, we have a giant glass window, and then the director. And when he does do anything at full volume, we don't need the talk back. We don't need his microphone on. We can hear him through the soundproof window.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, okay.
And he's a good drummer, by the way.
He is a great drummer.
He drums for me when I come out and do full concerts and stuff, which I'm doing in Dallas at Chuck's Con.
Oh, cool.
December 1st. I'll be doing a full band concert, backup singers, all that crazy stuff. I gotta get ready for that.
Yeah, it's around the corner.
It is around the corner. I'm gonna be doing I'll talk about it later. But, so Tyler does that. And then, so it was really cool for him to get that tattoo. Tried to talk to Cherami about it, but Cherami promised if we ever get...
What are you gonna promise that I do?
Whenever we get another season of Fairy Tale, she'll get one. So you know what that means on October 7th.
I've never promised
On your
that.
birthday. She just promised it. You heard her say promise?
I've never promised that. So the reason I told you guys that I didn't get a tattoo is
That's my
because
birthday present.
I have no tattoos, and the reason is I was working on Shameless on the Warner Brothers lot, and they called me 3 times, and they said, "Do you have any tattoos?" And I said, "No, I don't." And they were like, "Oh, thank God." Because if you had a tattoo, if we did not, we would have had to have somebody come in, cover it up, and if it got seen even slightly, we would have to, you, as in me, would have to pay $250,000 for every time it showed up on camera. Not per scene, but every time they cut back to me.
How much?
You're gonna cut the check?
I mean, well, how many times is it going to be seen?
That's the thing. If I'm in a 7-minute scene, how
Hold
many
on,
times can
7 times. Yeah, hold on.
So I was like,
We'll
I
talk.
mean, I don't. How much of an IOU are you guys willing to accept?
That sounds
Is
like
that ridiculous?
That sounds like a shady. It almost sounds like, come over here, kid.
Punish that check right here before you go on camera.
Listen, your scene's 7 minutes long, so I'm gonna need a check right now for $10 million.
And your mom's like, I don't know. He wanted to meet in that van next to the Warner Brothers.
My mom would have been like, "Why did you make that stupid decision?" Is what
Why
she
did
would
you
say.
meet him in the van?
Well, they're renovating my office.
They said they were going to take us to... That's the other thing. So, you've experienced this. When you are working on camera, and actually when we go to conventions as well, we don't know who's picking us up from the airport most of the time. At this convention,
Isn't that
we've been to it
weird?
before.
We don't know who's getting us to the airport. We don't know where we're going, and we don't know typically when our flight takes off until a couple days before.
Yeah, it's a major trust exercise. So, but I was thinking about when people say, stay away from unmarked vans, and you go,
Yeah.
well, yeah, obviously. But as an actor, how many times when we're on set does a car walk up to I'm going to take you back to base camp? You're
Absolutely.
like, thank you so much. You jump in the car and you're like, or he's taking me to be sold
To the chop
across
house.
the border.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I just willingly jumped in the car.
I was at a convention in London, and we got into an unmarked van, and I thought the body parts were just part of the experience. They were room
Maybe they were
10.
doing an
They were
exhibit
room
at
10.
the convention.
And I was like, well, that's yeah. And so I got in the van, and there were two people in the back, the very back, and I hadn't seen them in it. You know, on those conventions there are a lot of guests.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so they're probably some of the guests. Well, we load up with other people, like we're talking all the Game of Thrones people, all the, you know, we're all in this van and we're going to the convention. Everybody gets out except those two people. They talked with us the whole way over there, and we're like, oh, so who are you? And they're like, oh, well, we thought this was the van that's going over to the U2 concert. And we're like, so you have no idea about this con going on? No. And so they just hung out with us, and then, so yeah, they totally got into Mark.
It is a major trust exercise. Like anytime you're like, oh, I hope they're gonna be there to pick me up. And
Yeah.
I don't know who's coming to get me. Luckily, I
It's
have a
tricky.
weird name, so if nobody knows how, well, that's not even true. I was gonna say if nobody knows how to say it correctly,
Cherami.
I'm not going. Cherami.
That's how I've heard it.
Cherami. Someone actually the other day, we were leaving a convention, my mom and I, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and the guy's like, I thought you were gonna be a guy. And I was like,
Give me 6 weeks of healing, and
I'm
I'll fix it.
I'm so sorry.
I've got my tools in my bag.
I'm not.
Oh.
And he goes,
Oh, okay.
I thought I was picking up a Sherman Lake. And I was like, Sherman
I'm Sherman Leigh. Ah! Sherman Leigh, I've heard about you.
And then he goes, you must be a cosplayer. And I was like, no, I'm a voice actor. And he goes, you're a girl. And I was like,
Okay.
Oh my god.
I was at.
It was a weird day. It was a weird 4 a.m. drive.
I was at another con with. Brina and I were in Ireland at a convention, and we were getting interviewed, and the guy could not say her name. He kept saying Bryna, and she kept correcting him. Like every few seconds, she would have to say it's Brina, and he wouldn't get it right. And so as we're getting near the end of the interview, he said it again, and then it became a thing. He started to get really anxious about it, and she goes, if you say my name incorrectly one more time, I will slap you. And
I
he
can
goes,
see her doing that.
he goes,
She did.
she goes, he says, so here's, thank you again, Todd, for being here, and she goes, what is my name? And he goes, Bryna? And she goes, slap. She slapped the shit out of him. And I was like, and then it cuts to my face. You know that cat meme where it's like, that was my face. And I'm in the background, so it's like you see this black fuzz, and then out of focus. How much do you guys think the property damage over the course of 276 episodes and 2 movies is
Way
for
more
Fairy
than it was
Tale?
of me.
Over 9,000.
Way more than you becoming a male cosplayer.
Yes.
Because that's roughly like what's done in 2 parts, that surgery.
That's-
It's 25 grand for,
I
well,
can't even
I can
think
get into the
about
expenses
that.
of it later. Then there's a deductible and you pay that and the
There's a
hospital
deductible.
covers the rest of it. It's the healing that really is difficult. The hormones, you gotta start taking the hormone
I just
shots.
can't.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
even process.
Well, you would grow a beard. You'd probably grow a better beard than me. Honestly. Yeah, it'd be really thick and beefy. Like it'd be. I mean, think about it. You could do. I mean, if you have a great color
I would
head
look
of
like a
hair.
little hobbit though.
You would have hairy feet, and you would have to have
I
laminate
would be
spread.
Gimli. Is that what you're saying?
I'd be cool with that. How much is this property damage? Do you think? How much do you think?
That's
Now listen to me. The U.S. deficit is $15.
You walked him down that path and said, Trump impersonation. Here you go.
I feel like with the destruction. See, this is what I like about Fairy Tale in a weird kind of irresponsible way, is that they have this destruction that happens with the buildings and the and such, and then we cut to something else. We know that there was damage, and we just, but now that these comic book movies come out and they're like, well, we need to get the tax assessor out here and see how much. We don't go to movies to see what it would be like for a man flying around in blue and red tights to get a dude out there to calculate how much that building was, and he needs to go to court.
That's honestly, that's a great TV pilot you should write.
Yeah.
It's like the people that the people that have that all of their work for superhero movies that nobody sees.
I think
They tried to do the concept a couple years ago, but it didn't really work. But it should be like The Office, but for superheroes.
Yeah, and so I kind of like that about fairy tale in a way that it's kind of like they know what their focus is. It's more valuable to them to explore the themes of friendship and right and wrong and in the creator's mind and these cool powers and the fantasy of the show than, well, you destroyed that building, I'm gonna need about 6 months to rebuild it, and we need to get with the architect and see, Makarov, can I get with you for a meeting on Tuesday? I just want to approve. I want to see what you think of the logo. We're thinking about this high, maybe this kind of shade of blue. Can you look at these swatches and let me know what colors you're thinking? Okay, well, we don't want to contrast it with Mira James.
And we know people would like that. That would be a good like OVA.
A sim, like a sim.
People watch Fixer Upper.
That's true. Move that bus! And then it's the new fairy tale building. The cabinets are by Sears. And so I think that I like that about it. What drew you guys to fairy tale? What's something that drew you to that show? Out of all the shows, out of all the anime and things you could watch, what drew you to fairy tale?
A lot of people were talking about it, and I'm like, I've never seen fairy tale, and they're like, you've never seen fairy tale? And then eventually I was like, it's so long, but I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna start it, and I actually really,
so your friends shamed you into it.
Sort of.
Shame
I'm
works.
used to it. I'm used to it.
You're used to shame.
No, I'm used to them shaming me. I still have not seen all of One Piece even.
Can I shame you about that?
It would
I
be
won't shame you about that. I don't think the creators have seen all of One Piece. Some of those characters they create, they're like, okay, we've got 10 minutes to come up with a character. Okay. Take that projector, combine it with that chair, wrap that telephone around it. That's a new boss. It's so weird how they come up with some of these strange characters.
I was like, where is it coming from, these objects? And then I was like, oh, literally, there was
What about you?
When I heard about fairy tale, I originally thought it was about fairy tale characters, but once I started getting into it, this is completely different.
Yeah, but you stayed.
Yeah, I did.
So you were tricked into it.
Yeah.
So we have shame, trickery. Okay, what else? These are common things. You pick somebody, Sharon.
Well, I know a couple of these individuals got drugged here by someone they loved, which I guess is
fine.
okay.
They got drugged?
No.
You see? Oh.
Well,
Okay.
yes.
You put the fairy in the tail.
Yes.
I got into fairy tale just because I like the story and the idea of the fantasy world, the magic and everything. That's what drew me in. I like the sci-fi, the fantasy kind of things, and that just drew me right into fairy tale.
So natural interest.
I like sci-fi. I cannot. So with all the shows, with all the other fantasy shows, you just like fantasy shows in general.
Yeah.
And this was one that you're like, hey, I'm gonna check that out. 'Cause
progression.
yeah. All right. It's your curiosity. Yes. Someone else.
You with the blue and that. Yes. That was so descriptive.
So basically, me and my mom were looking around at Netflix, and we didn't know what we wanted to watch one weekend, so we were just looking at Netflix one night. And then we looked on Fairy Tale, and then I saw Happy, and I'm like, hey, that looks kind of cool. It has a flying cat.
So you saw a guy with pink hair, and you're like, hey, let's watch that show.
So, no. What I love about this description is I just identified you as blue because all I can see is your beautiful wig and your wonderful cosplay. And you responded with, I saw a blue cat. And I'm like, now we just have to lure you with all things blue. Blue, adorable. You're just like me.
You know what's so funny about Netflix is that with humans, God, if aliens ever take over this planet, we deserve it. We just deserve it. When you go on Netflix, There are thousands of titles at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Blockbuster Video is in your home whenever you want it. How many times do you go through it and you go, there's nothing to watch? We are so ridiculous.
I have never watched so many documentaries until I became exposed to Netflix and Hulu.
So exposure.
I watch documentaries all the time.
What's the last documentary you watched?
The last documentary I watched is called Tiny Shoulders, and it is a documentary about the reinvention and redesign of Barbie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. My friends are shooting the documentary about the history of Netflix. They're interviewing Denzel right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Interesting. I know that BuzzFeed had
They've been shooting it for
show.
3 months. And I was like, well, is it interesting? And they're like, well, if you like business stuff.
Well, but like the history of Netflix, and they're just getting started. That's what I think is so interesting.
I mean, Netflix, well, they've had a cool progression because at first, obviously, they started out as just like sending you DVDs, and then they kind of invented streaming, right? Not streaming itself, but streaming content in a mass form. And actually, do you guys want to have a quick tangent? And I know a story about the invention of actual streaming video. You want to hear it real fast?
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy, actually, Lex Lang's brother, invented streaming video.
What?
Here's how it happened. You remember back in the day, when you would load content, it would go like,
Yeah.
like Pamela Anderson. And so, Mom's home. And so, they were like, how do you stream? There needs to be a better way to get video to these computers. And a guy, Lex's brother, Robert, I think it was, because I narrated a book about this.
How cool.
He said, why don't you come up with a way to send pockets of data, streaming, to the computer, so it's not one big file, it's little bits, and as you're watching it, it's continuing to send it until you get the whole video. So he went to Microsoft. Microsoft loved the idea, and they go, oh my God, yes, let's meet next week about this. Never called him back. Stole the idea. Became QuickTime, not QuickTime Player, but real, you know, the media player.
Yeah.
So he took them to court and won like $150 million.
That's awesome.
Then he went to Apple. And he goes, I've got this idea called streaming video. They go, we effing love that! Crocanana, did you hear that? And then they go, we love that. We're going to call you next week. They didn't, and they stole it. He took them to court and got $150 million from them.
Just keep giving me money.
He got like $300 million from being litigious. And he created streaming video. Before that, he created the dual deck VHS player. With the two, he created that. Smart dude.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and so I thought it would be cool if we create something with Fairy Tale, get someone to copy it, and then we sue them. So.
What are your ideas?
Well, I want to come up with this little snowman character that shakes, and he's naked all the time. And I want to name him, well, Blue. I can't name him Blue. We already have Blue Cat. I can't name him Clue because there's already a board game.
Sure.
I'll think of a name.
Okay.
But a little white snowman that shakes. Then I want to come up with a character that has, you've never heard of this before.
Okay.
You know, people have wands.
Yeah.
Keys.
Oh.
That have magic abilities.
Okay.
I'll talk to you more about it later.
Like you would open a door, except it can't be a door. It's got to be something different.
You're like I don't know, like a clock, like a big clock.
Yes.
Comes to life, stuff like that. I've got ideas.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. I think we have.
We'll talk it over pie.
Yeah, we have to go. Is that it?
I think maybe.
Guys, we gotta say one thing. I mean, this is. We haven't been with Fairy Tale for a while now. This is a big deal.
It's been 2 or 3 years, right?
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's 3, 5, 10 years. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a little bit.
2 years.
Do you have like one message for people that are just getting into Fairy Tale, or one message for people that have endured and stuck with it? Anything to say to these lovely, lovely people here?
Thank you guys. I love you. This is the longest I've ever gotten to play a character. So anybody that is interested or watching Fairy Tale, you guys are part of the Fairy Tale family, and you guys are like family to me. So thank you so much for watching the show. And I hope we get to do this forever and ever, and obviously,
Sir, that's the wrong finger.
It's okay.
It's a different show. Different show. That's tonight's panel.
Oh God.
And I just want to say that you guys, just outside of everything she said about Fairy Tale, abso-freaking-lutely, and then just for this convention, for you guys taking the time to be here and cosplay and
absolutely.
get the hotels and make the drive and fly out here and spend your weekend with us is always a gift that that we'll always remember. And
Absolutely.
it's amazing that you do that. And thank you for being a part of this and joining with this convention family and making this happen. So thank you guys so much.
And it's never not surprising to me.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised anytime there's somebody that comes to a panel or anytime someone comes to an autograph signing.
Absolutely. My mom would never do this. So I love that you guys are closer to me than my mom. Did you hear that, Coconut?